Today is Wednesday, and TNAWrestlingNews.com, we still have no news board. And then I came to you, okay? And the problem is that they blame this on me. It's my news board script, right?
Yeah, they say it's your script, yeah.
I mean, this is the script, right? But every script, I mean, I've got different parts of the website redirecting. So I come to the guy that knows probably the most about news boards out of anybody that I know, a man named Matt Boone. And I said, Matty B, can you
just stop it.
Can you help me, brother? Can you install a news board on
20 minutes before a pay-per-view, by the way, you're asking me for this help. I might add.
Well, I needed this bad.
Yes,
right?
I'm just saying. I'm just telling everybody I'm a good friend.
Okay, so we install you install the news board, and what happened? Tell them what happens, Matty B. Tell them what happens.
I tried to install the news board. You see, the process is you install the script, and then you got to activate it. The activation was where the problem came in, because the installation worked okay because that doesn't involve anything technical at that point. That's just uploading things, and it's hard to explain because I know nobody will know what I'm talking about, but there's a lot of permissions, there's a lot of this, there's a lot of CGI, you got to edit this, you got to edit that, blah, 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 blah. So I do all that, and all that I knew would work. The step 2 of the installation is where we would find out whether it was a problem on your end or a problem on their end. And without question, like I predicted before I even started, it was their problem. It was a software error that you could not fix, and the software error was to do with some server settings that these people, I don't know if you want to tell them that, but they just seem to not know anything about their business because they couldn't find the problem.
And still can't find the problem.
And that's what they do for a living.
They've got most of the websites back up, right? And I've got TNA Wrestling News, which I'm using a backup news board. I had one news board on the server that was working, so I'm using that right now. And I've submitted support ticket after support ticket. I called up today, and I said to the guy, I said, listen, I want to speak to the owner of this company, and I need, he says he wasn't in the office and that he would call me back at some point today. You think he called back, Matty B?
I'm guessing from your tone that he didn't.
You're guessing right, my man. I haven't heard from him yet. You are a good guesser. Not that it was a hard question to answer. No. But no. So I haven't heard back, and we still have TNAWrestlingNews.com down. And
they're taping 4 weeks of TV in 3 days,
dude.
And you're down right off a pay-per-view and Samoa Joe stuff and
not only that.
My God.
As far as advertisers are concerned, WZROnline.com, TNAWrestlingNews.com are where my best advertisers reside at. So
where the skrill is.
It's the moral of the story is
your host is stupid.
Cheetah Web, which is my hosting company. If I can just fuck you.
Fuck them.
Exactly, and that's the real. Ryan Clark, that's how I feel about it. And
yeah.
I don't know, who knows? We're 4 days later, and here we are now, and so be it. So, moving on, Matt Boone, now that I was able to vent on live radio, I wasn't.
You feel better now?
I was actually going to try to hold that back and not get it out, because he said something to me. The tech guy, once again, didn't speak a whole lot of English. Said to me, well, you have the radio show, da-da-da-da-da-da, and I said, the radio show is on a completely different server, which leads me to believe that one of those guys is a fan of pro wrestling and somehow knows about the radio show, where it's located. I don't know if he listens to it or not, but if he's listening tonight, he's already heard what I had to say about this. So
picture when you're talking to the tech support people, just so the listeners out there in Radio Land understand, picture a voice something along the lines of Santino Marella meets Armando Estrada, but those voices mixed together on acid. On acid. So, that's what he was talking to, and he was pissed, and it was a serious problem that could cost him financially quite a bit.
The problem is, and this could be the reason why it hasn't been fixed, is because maybe they don't know what I'm saying. maybe they don't know what I'm talking about.
Maybe you're the one with the weird accent. Who the hell knows?
I don't know.
New Yorkers, a lot of people, if you're not from New York, you can get lost trying to understand a New Yorker, and you got a thick ass New York accent. So I don't know.
Do I really? So,
yeah.
You know, when I used to live in Colorado, people would say stuff about my New York accent, and I don't know. I guess.
Trust me. Ask the Army. They'll tell you in the chat room right now. Hey, Ryan Clark, he's got that New York accent.
A sexy New York accent, nonetheless, my man. You know what I'm saying?
He hits the remote on the TV, stuff like that.
That was Canadian, bro. No,
was it?
Oh my God.
I'm not an impressionist. What do you want me to do?
I don't know. What's the word that they always used to get me on? It was
You'll never remember it.
It's not going to come to me right now. Whatever. But all right. So what else? Let's get some wrestling news, some TNA. We had Slammiversary on Sunday night. We had a commercial-free Monday Night Raw from Monday night, and we had a couple releases.
The Bash this Sunday.
The Bash this Sunday. That's right. Yep. There's a lot to talk about.
We just had the Ultimate Fighter finale this past weekend. Yeah,
I want to talk to you a little bit about that because we had my man Clay Guida who fought an outstanding fight. Didn't get the win, but
as predicted by yours truly.
Oh, stop.
Thank you, everybody. If they ever put up last week's archive, go ahead and listen to that, and you'll hear me try and school Mr. Clark here on why Guida had no chance. But, what are you going to do? He impressed me. We'll talk about it.
Let me let you guys know something. I talked to Matty B before we went on the air here tonight, and we were talking about the Clay Guida-Diego Sanchez fight. Matty B said to me, you know, Clark, it could have been a draw. It was
you could conceivably score a draw if you could if you wanted. You could. It's possible.
Yeah, it was a good fight, though.
Round 1, 10-8 Sanchez, easily. Round 2 and 3 could be 10-9 Guida, but the third round was debatable, so that's where the
I think
maybe comes into play.
I think Diego probably had that.
Oh no, on my scorecard I had Diego too, but I'm just saying I could see if they gave him the third round that it'd be a draw, and I could see an argument for him getting the third round. I just didn't think personally that he won it.
Yeah, but great fight on Saturday night.
Couple of them.
We're gonna run down the UFC. I always want to say Tough Enough, the Ultimate Fighter finale, season 9 from Saturday night. So we're gonna run that down. Like I said, we're gonna talk Monday Night Raw. We had the SmackDown and ECW tapings were last night in Milwaukee, so we have the full spoilers are up on all the websites. I'm sure you guys have seen them by now if you read the spoilers on a weekly basis. So we're not going to have any coverage because it's a Wednesday. We do have TNA Impact tapings. They have the pay-per-view on Sunday in Detroit, and then Monday was used as a travel day. They taped Impact last night. They're going to tape Impact. Yeah, they're going to tape. They taped this week's Impact last night. They're going to tape Impact again tonight. And they're going to tape Impact again tomorrow night as well from Orlando.
Yes.
Three straight nights of TV tapings. Maybe we'll have some TNA Impact spoilers before we go off the air here tonight, but no guarantees on that. Like we said earlier, we have a live chat room. Lots and lots of people. Can't thank you guys enough for coming on a Wednesday night. I know it's a new day because technical issues that we had last night, but WZROnline.com /chat to get into the live chat room. We'll do chat shout-outs here in just a little bit.
Real quick, speaking of chat shout-outs, a question from the chat. The Brian Kendrick wants to know why TNA can't just spread the tapings out, and the answer is very simple, to save money. So that's
it's a major. I mean, to fly those guys in on a weekly basis.
Plus the production.
Yeah, production and all that stuff. So if you bring them all in at one time, you can keep them there for 2 or 3 days and tape.
And
3 or 4.
It's not affecting the ratings. I mean, the ratings are as high as they've ever been. So
Yeah, 1.2s every week. Speaking of ratings, how about that Raw rating last night, huh?
It usually chills around a 3.6, right? Lately.
Yeah, 3.5.
So we went up a full rating point in 1 week. That's pretty. What do you attribute that to? Let me ask you that. What do you consider the driving factor in an entire full ratings point in 1 week?
I think it has a little to do both with commercial free. I mean, people
Donald Trump.
Go
home show for the Bash.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they didn't get the media attention that they wanted, obviously, from the angle, and I think the problem was, is last week when they did the storyline angle that Trump had bought Raw, and then they sent out a press release and basically made it seem like this was the real deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then they got in trouble for it too.
Well, TVGuide.com picked it up. That was one of the major.
A couple of them did actually.
Yeah, a couple of